These New Puritans is the name of an English band from Southend-on-Sea, but they're now probably could be better considered a duo, as they currently consist of Jack Barnett and George Barnett, who are twins. When they started in 2006, they had two other people with them, but they seem to have been lost along the way. They have, however, released 4 studio albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is the second album by These New Puritans, and it's my second encounter with it. So before I was reviewing on this YouTube channel, I had a blog that I was reviewing on, and I had a different list that I was working to. In fact, it was a list that I had amalgamated myself, which is when I found Acclaimed Music is why I switched, because they did a much better job than I did. But this means I reviewed this album for my blog, and at that point I gave it 5.6, and I was quite, um, uh, scathing, maybe not quite so much as that, but I wasn't complimentary, let's put it that way. Well, I don't know what's happened. Somehow in between, I now like it. So this doesn't happen very often, because I generally find when I've reviewed something before, which does happen occasionally, that I try not to look at the score of the previous review, and just kind of give it a fair listen, which is what I did in this situation. And I usually find that I'm close. I'm often not far out, but on this occasion, very different. So I don't know what's gone on. Okay, but I like it. So description, though, is quite difficult. This is what the press release for the album said, or partly. It said 6-foot Japanese taiko drums, a 13-piece brass and woodwind ensemble, sub-heavy beats, prepared piano, a children's choir, Foley recording techniques, including a melon with cream crackers struck with a hammer, used to simulate the sound of a human head being smashed, and the ethereal voice of Heather Marlatt from dream pop group Salem. So it is curious, and it is fairly uncategorizable. I would describe it maybe as a mixture of post rock, but the rest of this is going to describe that a little bit anyway. Contemporary classical, so it definitely brings in parts of kind of chamber classical feel. Electronic, some sound effects, and semi-spoken lyrics that not quite rap. And I assume that it's Jack Barnett. So a few reviews ago, I reviewed one of their other albums, Field of Reeds, and the vocals on that I felt were quite mumbled, very kind of, I referenced Radiohead at that point. This time, very much clearer, which makes me think that in that previous album it was put on for a definite sound. And it's done with a distinctive Southern English accent. Even the singing kind of sounds accented, which is somewhat unusual. I have come across other people who sing in an accented way like this. The taiko drums, which I mentioned, are quite a feature. There's these huge kind of drum sounds are quite a bit of a thing here. And my favourite sound on the album is a kind of metallic blade shing, kind of like as if you've got two saws and you're going like that with them, or and maybe I don't know. Could it be scissors? Anyway, I enjoyed it. It's unusual, certainly, but it's got a great sound. There's a lot to dig into. I think I would say I like the first half more than the second half. It does get a bit samey towards the end, and possibly like my least favourite track is Where the Corals Lie, which just gets very repetitive. At points, the lyrics are quite repetitive, but it's just an interesting sound. And yeah, it's got a really good score from me this time round. So never say never. So that's what I think. And as always, I'd love to invite you to tell me what you think of this album. So please tell me what you think by leaving me a comment. And that's it from me for now.